Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the next project I'm going to be doing on my P2. What I've basically got is I've got a low budget aluminium cylinder which is going to need lots and lots of porting, setting up. I'm going to be using this Meteor piston and see what I can do with matching the ports. The standard one that comes with it is like a standard PX one. I'm just trying to show you inside. It's pretty strong. It's got all the gubbins inside, the supports on it, so you could actually use this one and open up the ports on it, do some work with this one, but I'm not going to. I'll be going to use this Meteor one simply because it's that's going to be better quality. And what I've done as well is I bought a Polini head simply because of the cooling on it on both sides. You know, you could probably get away with a standard head, but it's just, I'm just trying to see if we can do a, you know, an all-in less than sort of 200 quid and gain a bit of power from a standard one. I'm not the fastest guy around the block. I don't profess to be, I don't want to be. It's just, you know, what can be achieved on a reasonable budget. I'm going to see if I can open out these side transfers, see if I can match them to the case. I've put on kits before, but I've never done this sort of work. And when you look at Polini kit cylinder, you're going to spend about 300-400 quid just on the cylinder. The reason I've gone for an Indian version in effect is you haven't got the Nicosil plate on, so if you get any seizes, it's not terminal. Basically you can have this reboard and reboard again. So it's more of a cooler running cylinder with more of an ode back to the original cast iron cylinders. But as I say, that's the piston that came with it. Doesn't look too bad quality. It's got plenty of strengthening inside it. It's just that I wanted to use the Meteor. I don't know yet whether I'm going to go 60 stroke. I don't really know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be porting this up. I'm not going to show you opening the ports up because it's just, you're just sitting there watching somebody grind something away. Pointless, to be honest. The piston's perfect in there. It's got the right gap around it. Obviously you've got to do the rings. I'll show you all when I come to bolt it in and how I get around doing the transfers on here. I've got to stick the exhaust in the bottom. While that's not in, it's easier to open up and see what I get out of it. To be honest, I think I'm upside down now. That's the way around it should go. You can see the transfer on the top, you know, the difference in there to that. I'll be taking that port down and opening it out, and as I say, the two side transfers, I'm going to open them out so we've got better breathing. The carburetor is probably just going to be the standard 24 up jetted, and while running it in I'm going to leave the standard exhaust on it, which I'll probably go for a Polini, and I'll explain that in subsequent videos what choices I'm making. But all I'm trying to show you is, you know, for a couple of hundred quid, I've had this piston for probably about 5 or 6 years, just sat in the garage doing nothing, and it sort of, I found it again and I thought, you know what, why not use it? And I don't know if I've shown you this piston, but inside it's got loads and loads of strengthening. And Meteor are the same people that make the GS pistons nowadays, so they're not bad pistons. I think it's better than an ASSO piston, which is standard in a Polini kit, as far as I know. You know, a lot of people say that a lot of the expensive kits put a different piston in it. I don't know much about this piston. I can't find anything on it. on the web, but it's Meteor 1099 if anybody has a clue. It's quite heavy. It's not, I'd say it's a medium weight piston. It's a hell of a lot lighter than this one's about twice its weight, or a third again. I'd say that's about 75% if I'm being honest to that one. And it's got 150 stamped in it. I haven't got a clue, you know, who made that piston, what his thermal coefficient is, how much it swells up, etc. So all I know is Meteor are good, and I have got a gap, you know, that's perfect. So it's a 68 bore, which should be a somewhere around 207, 210 with a 60mm 60 stroke crank. It's got 57 in it at the moment, and it's pretty standard, as you know from watching previous videos. So I'm going to end this one here because I've literally just got the stuff, and I've not even, like I say, I've got to open the ports out and do a lot of work on the cylinder. The head itself, I won't be doing anything with that apart from a little bit of cleaning up. It does look quite nice actually, and for what I paid for it, you know, I'm about what, 160 into what you see there, maybe 30 quid for the piston. I can't, I've had it so long I can't even remember what I paid for that. So like my advice to most people is, if you see something coming up, you might not want it now, there's always the future, isn't there? And if you buy quality, you know, quality never goes out of style, as they say. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all my new subscribers, and you know, stay in there. We've got a few projects going to come up over the weekend, more like the winter, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, and anybody who wants to subscribe, obviously it helps my channel grow, and the more subscribers you've got, the more people get to it. You know, these videos come up in more suggestions anyway, the more subscribers you've got. Yeah, thanks for taking the time again. I hope you enjoy and get something out of this. Anybody who's got any ideas, don't hesitate. You know, I'm not you know, the greatest tuner in the world. I can put a kit on and I can, you know, I can time and I can do all the jetting, etc. But when it comes to stuff like this, you know, it's very, very monotonous doing port work. Anybody will tell you that does it. But you know, just making these ports nicer and taking the time in, I will explain how you time a port, what degrees of, you know, which ports don't work and stuff like that. When I get time, I will go through that. But as you can see, the piston's nice in there, quality piston. I've gone for the cast iron bore over the, you know, the lined one, because like I say, once you start getting the lined ones get seize marks, and they always tend to go, or a piston ring drops, you're not going to spend the money on getting it done really, unless you really, really love, you know, or it's been ported to the 10th degree, where it would cost you a fortune to get it sort of matched to what you've got. So you know, it does cost a lot of money to get people to do all this port work, simply because it's just labor intensive and it's boring and it's dirty work as well. You know, who wants to breathe in bits of aluminium and bits of steel and iron? But that's another story anyway. As I say, thanks for watching. Hope you get something from this, and